Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wiki Sasquatch channel. I have been away for a little bit, but I have a bunch of things I need to open and review. I gotta get caught up. I got a bunch of Star Wars vintage collection I'm gonna do first, and then I got a bunch of the new Masters of the Universe Origins, and a few of the G.I. Joe Classifieds, and some Marvel Legends, and Star Wars Black Series. So I got a bunch of stuff to open. I'm going to try to get most of these up in over the next week. So if you'll subscribe, you'll get notifications when I drop a video. They'll be pretty often, and over the next week, I'll probably be dropping 20-something videos here and there. Just as soon as I get them up and ready, I'll post them. So anyway, I'm going to start out with the Star Wars Vintage Collection. I want to say a Army Builder pack, but it's not really an Army Builder. It's, I guess, a multi-pack. It's from Hasbro Pulse. It's an exclusive. And it's the Cantina band, FIGRIN Dan and the MODAL nodes. And I'll be opening all these in the background here too. It's the latest wave that came out. Got some Mandalorian and Andor figures, and Jedi Survivor. So, I got the rescue set. I'll open it and compare it to the others that were in that set, show the differences. But we're going to start with this one. Alright, so there's 7 figures in this pack, and I don't know all their names. I'll have to look them up real quick, but I'll put those up on the screen here in a little bit. But I went ahead and cut the tape, so this is what it looks like when you open it. And I'm just going to go ahead and take everything out of the box first and lay it out. Let's look at the outside there. Alright. So these should pretty much be the same figure over and over again. Okay, the bags aren't sealed, they're just kind of opened up on the end there. So, pretty much going to look like the FIGRIN Dan carded figure. I don't think there's going to be any differences other than that much. I'm not sure if it includes different hands. Surely it does, but we'll see. So, it has good articulation. You can really have a bunch of different poses for all these guys, so they look like they're doing all their different instruments. So I'll just speed through this so that it's going to be kind of redundant anyway. Alrighty, so there we go. We got it all opened up and taken out of the box. Got several different instruments with it. So, and they're pretty much all identical, pretty much straight up the FIGRIN Dan out off the card. So I don't see any differences in any of these guys. So usually in these packs they'll have one that stands out a little different, but I guess in this case they're so identical in the movie there's not a need to. But would have been nice for some of them not to have that hole in their mouth, because not all of them have a wind instrument. So like these guys, it'd been cool if they had a couple of different heads that didn't have the holes in their mouth. But and there's not any alternative hands, so we're going to see how good they hold these things with the hands they have. They're going to be universal hands. We'll see how universal they are as far as holding everything. So just setting all these guys up is going to take a little while. So I may do a bunch of edits on this so that it just doesn't drag the video out. But I'll record the whole thing and just edit it down. Alright, so let's start out with, let's say this is FIGRIN Dan. I think he has one of these. And there's two of these, so I guess two of the Cantina members have these. And I'm going to pretty much try to do based off of, I'm going to try to set them up like they are on the box back here. So see how good I can do it. Okay, that took about 5 minutes, but I think I got him about how he is on the box there. Tilt him this way just a little bit more. There we go. Alright, next one will be this dude with this thing. Okay, what I learned is these things do stick in there pretty good, but you gotta stick them in hard. So I think I would start out doing that because I had trouble. Once I got it in his hands and stuff, I had trouble getting my fingers up there to his mouth to push it in. But if you kind of push that in real good first, it does seem to stay in pretty good if you push in hard enough. One thing I noticed, the hands seem like they should, on the ones I've done so far, it seems like it'd be better if the hinges went that way instead of that way. But seems like it'd be easier to pose them in the way they're supposed to be if they would bend inward. But we'll make it work. One thing I don't like about their legs is that you really see the ball hinge there. They're really articulated. They can do the splits, but it just looks unnatural the way that sticks out over that. But I don't know. And I'm having a hard time getting there. If you notice in the picture, it looks like his legs are together and they're both going that way, but I don't see any way to make him stand up that way. I'm going to have to get him to lean over that way like he is in the picture. I'm going to have to get this leg out this way and him bending over that way. So they don't show much of the legs in the pictures, but what they do show, that doesn't look exactly like the pose. But I don't know, I don't guess it has to be exactly like the pose in the picture. I was just trying to see if I could recreate it or not. I thought that'd be a good starting point. Just set them up. Then you can kind of tweak them from there. But alright, so I guess that's pretty good right there. Alright, so there's first two. Alright, then we got another one with this same instrument as before, so he's just leaning a different direction. And again, it just seems like that hand should go this way instead of that way so far. So I hadn't seen any that wouldn't have worked better that way so far. So I don't know why they didn't do it that way, but oh well. This one's hand's a little higher up on the thing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put it in his mouth, and then we'll see what we can do here. I'm glad these instruments do have some flex to them right there. It'd be impossible to get this set up right, I think. And I'll probably end up putting some action figure stands, putting these on some action figure stands just to make sure they don't all fall over once I get them the way I want them. But I'm just trying to get them to balance on their own pretty much just to see if I can. It's the challenge of it. Alright, I think I about got him, so we'll go to the next guy. He's playing this thing over here. He's sitting down. He might be a loser because he's sitting down. But about got him. He's just trying to be a little difficult. There we go. There's first three. They're looking pretty good. Alright, it's just a lot of work to get them in the right poses, but I think they'll look pretty good once you get them all together there. And I have the 6-inch versions, and they're about the same kind of deal with them. They're just a larger scale, but it took a while to get them set up too, but they look good once you get them set up. So, and his lower part of his leg's a lot shorter than the upper part of his leg. It's kind of weird. Maybe we'll make it work. Got a big lap. Okay, and then I think on the black series it had like a little, I want to say it has something that kind of made his feet stick on there, like a little tab or peg for the feet or something. I have to look, I can't remember, but it's been a few months since I did that. Because he's supposed to have his feet on these pedals, because that also does something to do with the instruments. So you can't have him out too bow-legged, but okay. I'm going to be bent over a little bit further, like he's looking at a crystal ball, like they got him in that picture there. It's kind of like you're gonna crystal ball pose. So. The Black Series 6-inch figures, they do have different hands, so that does make it a little easier to set them up accurately. These don't. And when you bend their legs, look at that, that looks weird. It's just the way that ball joint works on it. That might be turned around backwards, actually. Okay, that looks better. Maybe his leg was turned around backwards when it came out of the bag. That looks a little better. Let's try that. I wish it did have some peg holes on the pedals to hold these feet in place. That might make it easier. Cause when I get the feet where I want them, and then I try to adjust the upper part, that's the feet want to move. So if it has some peg holes there, that would be nice. Or some pegs for these peg holes. Now lean forward with your arms where I want them. And stay there. But look up just a little bit. Alright, I think we got it. That's close enough. Then the next one's got these little drumsticks, so that'd be interesting to see how well he's able to hold those. Get his arms out like that. When you're flexing these to get them loosened up, make sure you're careful. You don't want to, these kind of sticks sometimes the hinges don't want to move, and you'll break the tabs off of the wrist if you're not careful when you're doing that. So just be real careful as you loosen them up. But once you get them loosened up, they're usually pretty good. I'm just going to stand him straight up. Alright, let's see how good he holds these. Okay, pretty good. They made the ends of these big enough that they'll slide in his hands pretty good. So that's pretty good. That one's turning more that way. And even though these look like drumsticks, I don't think they're really drumsticks. I think they're more of those things like when you go closer, it's like, ooh, you know. So I think I read that in something, I don't know. Like a synthesizer type thing or something. I don't know what you call those things. If you know what they're called, leave a comment. Some of you music people out there probably know what they're called. It's probably something simple that I should know. Alright, I think that looks pretty good for him, maybe. It's close enough. Okay, and then we got this guy with the little bitty flute. He might be the trickier one, I don't know. Again, the hands would work better on this one if they turn inwards, so I think that's just a design flaw. Whoever decided the hands which way the hinges should go on the hands. But so far, every one of them would have worked better if the hands went that way. And right here too. Because you can see right there, they've been inwards, every one of them. And I believe that goes this way. This one I may have to put in his hands first because it's so small. This part's so small, I don't think I can get it to his mouth and then manipulate it like I did the other thing. He was actually easier doing than I thought he would be. Oh, spoke too soon. Okay, let's try that. All right, one more. This guy's rocked back. That hand's up high, this hand's down low. cock that way. Getting them to stand is the hard part. I thought it'd be harder to get their hands. Oh boy, okay. This one's kind of flimsy looking. It's not really straight. I might have to try to heat that up and straighten it out a little bit. Maybe I can get his hands to hold it right. It'll kind of straighten it out. It still don't look like it's a hard instrument though, because the way it has some bend to it. I think I got it. Okay. I wish these were harder. They're just real flimsy plastic. I don't like that. I like it for the mouthpiece, but not for this part. Cause look at that. I don't think heating it up and straightening it out would help, because when you put it in his hands and try to pose it, it's still going to try to bend. You just have to try to get his hands in the right position enough to make it look like it's a straight instrument, and that's going to be harder than getting it positioned right. You gotta make it look natural and look like it's not flimsy. When I get it straightened out enough, and then put him in position where it looks like he's in a natural position to be playing it, then it gets crooked again. Alright, that's not too bad, I guess. It's still got some bend to it. Alright, so there you go. And see if we can just set them up against a white backdrop or something so you can see. Alright, so there you go. There's the box. See if you can. I think I did a pretty good job of recreating the positions they're in on that box there. Not exact, but good enough. And it's going to look good in my Cantina diorama that I got going. And I'm going to do a live stream setting up all the Cantina aliens in my Cantina diorama. So subscribe and you'll get notification when I get that scheduled. Probably next week. I'm thinking maybe next Thursday, maybe. So anyway, stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. I think this is a good set. I mean, if you have a Cantina and you don't have these, then you definitely should get them. But I don't know, if you have the ones from before, they do a pretty good job. I mean, these guys are not very active in the movie. They're just standing there on the bandstand playing their instruments. But that being said, these are superposable, and they have, you can get them in better positions. They don't look like they're just standing there like four or five aliens in the exact same position, as much like especially the Power of the Force 2 ones. I think the mail away ones, seems like the ones that came with that commemorative tin were a little more articulate. I might be making that up, but I can't remember. I know they had like cloth cape, like cloth cloaks, smocks, what you want to call them. So that made them a little different. I wouldn't have minded if these came with some cloth cloaks or something, but I don't know. They look pretty good. I'm happy with them. I think they look pretty good for a vintage collection set. My only complaint is I think you'd have a little bit better, a little easier time posing them if they had that wrist bending inwards instead of upwards. But other than that, and their legs are kind of ball joint looking on the knees, and especially when you bend them all the way, bend the knees all the way, but especially up there at the hips, they kind of look like a ball joint instead of slacks. But that's my only complaints, really. They're a good set, though. I recommend them. They're Hasbro Pulse Exclusive, and like I said, probably next Thursday. Keep eye on the channel. I'll put a thing where you can be notified when it gets scheduled, so you'll be notified when it goes live. But I'm going to try to do a live stream where I'm setting up the Cantina playset, Cantina diorama that I have, and putting all the Cantina aliens, and I get y'all's input on where they go, because it's in the movie they're kind of close-up shots. It's kind of hard to tell which part of the cantina they're sitting in and stuff like that sometimes. So we'll get y'all's input and see what you think about where they should be standing or sitting and all that stuff. I actually made it to scale based on the blueprints from like some of the Star Wars books they put out and stuff. So it's about as to scale as you can get. So I mean, we can actually put them in the places they belong and everything. Anyway, thanks for watching the channel. I hope you liked this review. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and like and subscribe and all that stuff. If you subscribe, you'll get notifications when I post more videos. I have a bunch of reviews I'm going to be doing this over the next couple of weeks. All these guys. I got the rescue set 3-pack back here. Technically a 4-pack, I guess. It's got a little Grogu with handcuffs. But we'll look at those. I know like Moff Gideon has a cloth goods cape, and I think the Dark Trooper has some battle damage the other one doesn't have. And I already did a review of this one, but I have a second one now, so I'm going to do a little follow-up of it to show how these units snap together and everything, if you're curious about that. So check that out when I get it up. And I have the ATST from the Mandalorian that came with this figure, so we'll compare those two, see if there's any differences. And we got Cassian Andor, and we got the Cal Kestis. Finally, we've been waiting on him for a long time. I wish they had the first version, but you know, he's pretty close to the first version. He's not that different. So anyway, check out my other videos. I'm going to be doing some more stop motion here soon. I like doing that. It's pretty fun. Yeah, maybe animate these guys and make them be playing some music or something. I don't know. But see how much time I have. I got to catch up on all these reviews first. I have literally a half of a room of boxes over here I need to open and do reviews on. And the Wookiee cave's getting pretty cluttered. I need to get it organized. I never finished organizing it the first time. Then I got all these other boxes of stuff I need to review. So I get those opened up. I can kind of place them, and I'll do a video of the Wookiee cave collection. Do a little tour video of that. Anyway, thanks for watching. And if you're interested in seeing some other videos, just click on one of these links right here. You click on that and go to the channel, or click there to subscribe. So thanks for watching.